Hola amigos, Dr. Lebrinicky. Today I'm going to help you be successful on the AP Spanish Literature and Cultural exam by looking at the two short answer responses which make up lessons 3 and 4 of my 8-part video series. Vamos a empezar. Okay, so what do we need to know about this? The two parts to the short answer responses. The first one is a text explanation, and we'll take a look at that more in depth. And the second one is a text and art comparison. We'll have about 15 minutes to answer each of the two responses. Okay, so the set of instructions are in Spanish and English to start. So we can look at the English portion of this, and it says write a coherent and well-organized response in Spanish, in bold, on the topic that appears below. Okay, so then they're going to give us our prompt, and we won't know what that is until the day of the test. But this is the first set of instructions. So how are we going to get organized? Let's take a look here. We want to outline, outline, outline is the helpful hint of the day. So before we start writing anything, we want to look at the tasks that they give us and just jot down a few notes so that we get organized and create a brief outline so that we stay organized. Okay, the first one is an example of instructions from the text explanation portion. Okay, and so I haven't included the prompt here, but it would be from Mi Caballo Mago. They would tell us that, and then they would give us a short excerpt from the short story. But here's what they would tell us to do, and this part will be in Spanish. It says, identifica al autor y la época de este fragmento. Luego explica el desarrollo del tema de las relaciones de poder dentro de la obra a la que pertenece. Okay, so they've assigned us a couple tasks here. Let's break this down a little bit and take a look at the first one. So the first task that they've given us is identify the author and the time period of this fragment. And so there's 38 items on our reading list. And so we need to memorize the author and the title. So that's going to be a given. We're going to get questioned on that in this portion here. And then also we need to know the time period, or the literary movement, or the era for each of the works as well. And so coming up in future lessons, I'm going to create a way that you can practice these, and then also I'm going to create a Quizlet where you can practice matching the author with the title. Okay, so if we were talking about Mi Caballo Mago, the author is going to be Sabine Ulibarri, and then the time period is going to be Hispanos en los Estados Unidos en el siglo XX. Okay, so that's task one, and so we've identified two things there. Next, we need to develop the theme of the relationship of power in this work. And so we can't just summarize what we know about Mi Caballo Mago, but what we have to do is address the task that they've given us. We have to develop this theme of power. And so if you remember Mi Caballo Mago, and again we're going to put this into Spanish, but in English we can talk about first the horse is free, and he's majestic, and he has liberty, and he has his own power. And Sabine, as a boy, he wants to capture this horse. There's a legend, and in the community in New Mexico, the people have all dreamt of capturing this horse. Well, eventually Sabine captures the horse, and what originally is excitement, it turns into humiliation for this horse that's been captured, and the horse loses his power, and the boy then has the power, but everybody's sad. And then at the end of the story, the horse finds a way to escape from the corral, and the boy is again happy for the horse, even though it's kind of the opposite of what he thought he wanted. And the poor horse again has the power back, he's escaped, and so you'd want to write something about that in Spanish. Okay, so that's lesson number 3. All right, up next in lesson number 4, in our short response, we're going to take a look at the section of the text in art comparison. Now for me, I generally think that this is the easiest portion because you can typically tell from the work of art what it's talking about, and so we'll take a look at our prompt here and then also take a look at the work of art and see how we could compare them. Okay, so our instructions here are going to be in Spanish again, but again we want to outline and come up with a well-organized essay or paragraph or paragraphs So there's no set length. Oftentimes people want to know, okay, what's the set length I have to do? There's no set length. You just need to make sure that you complete all the tasks and answer all the questions that have been asked, and that's how you get your full points. All right, so let's take a look here. Lee la siguiente selección y estudia la pintura. Luego compara la representación de la niñez en las dos obras en relación al género picaresco. Okay, so for this text, they've given us a portion of Lazarillo de Tormes, and they're going to tell us the title, and this one's Anónimo. And then we're going to take a look at the artwork next, and then we'll compare this literary genre, the picaresque literary genre, and see how we can do that. Okay, so here's the work of art that we can compare it to. It says Joven Mendigo, which means a young beggar, and we can see the time period is 1645, 1645, and so this is Spain's golden age of literature, or the Siglo de Oro. And broken down into that is the subgenre, la literatura picaresca, or the picaresque genre. Okay, so we're going to take this work of art and compare and contrast with Lazarillo de Tormes. So if we remember in Lazarillo de Tormes, his mother was so poor that she gave him to a blind man, El Ciego, to take care of him, and that's known as his first amo, or his first caretaker. Okay, and so they're kind of beggars on the street. And then he goes on to his next amo, which is a cura, or a priest. And again, he's still living a very poor lifestyle, and his main focus is getting food. And with his third amo, he goes on to live with this squire who appears to be rich, but he's really poor. And again, throughout the theme of the story, Lazarillo is a street beggar, and the main focus is acquiring food. And so we could say something like that in Spanish, comparing the work of art, which basically is the same thing, a Joven Mendigo, the young beggar, and then comparing that with the story of Lazarillo de Tormes. And so we could probably do that in maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs, maybe talk about Lazarillo, maybe talk about what we see in the painting, maybe 5 sentences, and then compare how are they similar. Is there a difference? I don't see too many differences, but maybe there might be. And so we don't have any idea what work of art we're going to see, but it's going to correspond pretty closely to the literature, and they're going to be coming from the same time period, the same era, similar in years, and you're going to compare the two. How are they similar? All right, that's that for lesson 4 then. Okay, so this was lesson 3 and 4. We explained the short answer text explanation, and then the short answer text in art comparison, giving you an idea what you're going to see. All right, up next, we're going to take a look in the next video, lesson 5 and 6, the essays. And the first one is text analysis, and the second one is the text comparison. All right, stay tuned. All right, adios y gracias por mirar. Thanks for watching Learning Spanish with Dr. L. Remember, if you subscribe, it gives you free access to all my videos. All right, buena suerte en el examen de AP y chao.